All right. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to MolarGold. Let's dive into the gold analysis today. Let's start from the higher time frame as usual, starting with the Elliott wave. All right. So last time I told you guys something interesting was developing, all right, or is developing. And in fact, it played out exactly the same way. So today, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Let's get into it. So I'm going to go into it right from the Elliott wave session all the way to SMC. If today is your first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification. So anytime I come live, you will be notified immediately. Yeah, it's a free thing to do to share the links to family and friends. So please don't forget to do that too as well. All right. Yeah, let's continue. Okay. So what is developing right now in the gold analysis? What is developing? What is the new development? All right, the new development. Last time I told you guys that because of this move, two things can happen. All right. Oh, two things can happen. What can happen and what cannot? All right. Yeah. So I said that this move can actually trigger the price dropping all the way before we going back. And this will give us A, and this will give us B, and this will give us C. Or full structure W, X, Y, X, Z. So W, X, Y, X, and Z. Full structure. All right. So this is what can happen. I stated that. All right. That is the other possibility I gave. But then we went into the lower time frame and then I explained again. So let's keep going down. So we're going to go down to 1 hour and probably to the 15 minutes. Okay. In fact, let's go to the 15 minutes direct. Let's go to the 15 minutes direct. So 15 minutes, I'm going to show you something interesting right there, right now. All right. So inside the 15 minutes, this move that we are seeing, two forms. Good. Chat just loaded. Guys, that this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is a wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5. All right. Then what happened? We had an ABC correction with A, with B, and then with C. Okay, that is an expanded flat. If you are in the channel, I stated that yesterday. That is an expanded flat. All right, so let me actually break down the expanded flat for you to understand. So what is an expanded flat and what does it really do? Okay, an expanded flat. What does it really do? What's the essence of the expanded flat? Okay, so the expanded flat is one of the most dangerous patterns of the Elliott wave. Very, very powerful. So this very one started with a zigzag. With 1, with 2, with 3, with 4, and then with 5. Let me change the color for the connections because it's a connector, right? Oh, so let's do that with A, with B, and then with C. So this is giving us a 5, 3, 5, right? So let's change the color. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. In all, this then gives us a structure which is with A, with B, and then with C. Let's do that in black. All right. So this is the first phase of the whole structure. So what happened is that I told you guys that this is an A and this is a B and this is a C, and we need to start going to the upside. All right. But what happened is that when we got to this level, the ERL of the SMC actually indicated when we get to the SMC, we were going to see that too as well. So the ERL actually indicated that the price should be dropping. So we move in 5. So I'm going to use a red degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we moved in 5. So 5 waves perfectly. All right. So we're expecting, Elliott wavers, we are expecting that probably there should be kind of correction and then we'll go back, because then this becomes the higher degree with 1, and then this is the higher degree with 2, and another degree within it, and price will start going to the upside. But this changed slightly. This actually changed slightly. So this gives us a 5. All right. So the whole structure will change a little bit, just a little, because of what happened here and there. That gives us a complex B wave, So we start with the 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start with the 5 again, and then we'll end the 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 again here. All right. Then now let's get into the B. So this is B. This is A, and this is B. Oh, sorry. This is C. This is the last leg, which is the C. All right. So the complex B wave. So let's get into it. We have A, B, and C. Let me change the color to blue. All right. So 1 A, B, C, and then we get another okay. This can't be 5. Since this is a 5, they should all be 3 each. So this is 1, 2, 3. Right? These 3 we can actually label it W, X, Y, X, Z, like this. All right, W, X, Y, X, Z. Then what happened? We have a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So this is a W, X, Y, X, and Z right there. This is an ABC, A, B, and C. And now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the development. This actually developed in the smaller time frame. So it means that now this structure has shifted slightly, but the up move has not changed. Nothing really has changed, right? Nothing really has changed. So what are we having here? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, like this. Okay, that is A, B, and C. So yesterday we expected that this move should happen, and it did. I will do the breakdown of what happened in here. So it did happen. So yesterday, if you were in the channel, you will see I posted it even in the morning that, yeah, with the SMC strategy, that this is what is going to happen. All right. And it actually did. Okay. So price went up. Now, what are we expecting in here? What are we expecting in here? Because of this structure, price is currently in a corrective phase, and corrections takes long, or they can take a long time. Right? If you can hear me, type 111. If you can see my screen, type 222. And if today is your first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the link. It's actually a free thing to do. When you do that, it actually motivates us to do more. All right? let's continue. So that's basically it. So this it. Now we are taking this to be a wave one, and now we are expecting the next move. Okay, so what is supposed to happen? Since this is a wave one, this will be the invalidation level. Invalidation levels. Okay, invalidation levels. And this is our wave A, and this can be our wave B. And if that is the case, then it's a zigzag correction. We need to go further down, probably to this level, before we start going back up. Now I'm going to show you all of that in simple terms. So let's first pick the Fibonacci retracement tool, and then we are going to find the retracement. Okay, so finding the retracement, we need at least 50 and 61.8 for price to get into that, right? And yesterday I drew something like this for you guys. So now we have this, and then Control Z, and then we have that. So what does it mean? It means that the ABC structures is already in play. So let's put the ABC in play. All right, and maybe we can go to 78.6. I am actually anticipating 78.6 or 886. That is where I'm actually anticipating. Okay, I'm anticipating these levels. This. So I'm actually looking at that, right? But EW suggests that these are the levels. Okay, so now that we have seen these levels, I'm going to add in the other ones. So let's add in the other ones quickly. All right, so I'm adding it there right now. Good. So the other ones are pointing out these directions, and you can see we are actually in the lowest point. So if that is the case, I'm actually going to sizing up the zones. I love confluences. So what am I going to do? I'm going to remove this part, the 50 out. Now you can see the confluences actually happening around this area. So it means that this area is highly populated or highly highly densified. The English is not Englishing. All right. So it's highly dense. Yeah, that's the correct English. So since this is the area, okay, it means that price can get into it. Where is it? Price can get into it and start to go back up. Okay, this the area. We will get into that in the SMC shortly. So price can get into these areas before taking the move to the upside. At this point, we have this area for price to make the move. Now that we have a clue or we have an idea of what really is happening, let's get into the SMC. So in the SMC, this is what really happened. Okay, in the 15 minutes. Unfortunately, price went to candle 1. 15 minutes. This is the reason why I don't call trade using 15 minutes. Because the stop losses are very huge. This stop loss is around 200 pips. So I'll always wait, and then I'll call the trade in 5 minutes for you guys. That one, the stop losses are very small and tiny, right? Yeah. So I just did this as a forecast, and you see it went all the way to candle 1, even though the stop loss is very huge. It went all the way to candle 1. Now let's get into the 5 minutes. So we are going to go into the 5 minutes and I'm going to explain. Okay, so we have a BOS, green BOS right here. So this is a green BOS, a GBOS. All right, so we have a green BOS, a GBOS, and this is basically it. And what we have the ERL. But this is actually, oh, sorry. This is red BOS, RBOS. This is RBOS, sorry. So this is R ERL. Perfect. So this is basically it. This is basically it. All right. Good. So this is an ERL. So this is an ERL, RERL. All right. Perfect. Now let's extend the lines. So I'm actually extending the lines. Good. So lines extended. Oh. Let me move my dots to the side so that it doesn't conflict. Okay. Good. So what does it mean? It means that we can have some cells right from this area. We can have some cells right from this area. Okay. And the candle has already been mitigated, so we move further. All right. So now bearish EPOI right there. Visibility is on the 5 minutes. So we now understand the concept. We now understand what really is happening, because Elliott Wave has also told us that it's likely we're going to the downside, right? So this is it. Now we can position around here, but we first need to take out the inducement. Where is the inducement? The inducement is right here. This is where the inducement is. So we cannot trade in here if the inducement has not been taken out. All right. So let's mark the inducement with an X right here. So once we take out the inducement, now we can position ourselves here. So let me do this. Take out inducement and we can position here to take the trade all the way to the downside. If there is no inducement taken, you cannot take the trade. Those of you that watch the video halfway and then you do and later come and blame me, please stop that. It doesn't help. If you want to understand the whole information, it's better you watch right from beginning to the end. Right? Perfect. So candle 1, candle 2, yeah. Now, the reason why I told you guys that I'm actually expecting price to... Okay. So I'm actually expecting price to do this. I'm actually expecting price to do this. It has to come all the way to the 88.6. Now you see the reason. So Elliott Wave and SMC actually complementing themselves, right? This is pointing the sell, the other is also pointing the sell. This is pointing the buy, the other is also pointing the buy. Okay, so now SMC says that we can position all the way in the downside. Yeah, so let me move this maybe to this side. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, let me move this one here. Or it should only show in the 15 minutes. That's perfectly fine. Okay, it's a 5-minute trade, so it cannot be shown on the 50 minutes. Okay, so this one rather should move forward a little bit. So this one should move forward a little bit. That's it. So what does it mean? It means that we are positioning ourselves in the sell direction for now, a short-term sell, and then we go into the buy. All right. So that's basically it. You need to position yourself for the sell first, then you go for the buys. That's basically what is happening right here. Okay, like I said, you cannot trade the inducement. You cannot trade this EPUI if the inducement has not been taken out. Very, very important too as well. Note that. Okay, yeah. Some of you, like I said, you always jump the videos. You jump them. Please don't do that. Listen to every single information. All right. If today is your first time, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that anytime I come live, you will be notified immediately. We also appreciate you sharing the links to family and friends. That is a free thing to do. Once you do that, it actually motivates us to do more. Let's continue. All right. So now we get the concept of what is really happening in here. Now we get a concept. Let's go back to the EW. So you see, I stated that price should drop all the way to these levels. It has to drop all the way to these levels. Even though in the EW, I'm seeing that, so in the EW, I'm seeing that price need to drop probably to these trend lines, because trend line traders will be positioning on the trend line. They will be positioning on the trend line. Okay, so like this, so like this, like that, and probably like here. So they will be positioned on a trend line. But what happens? All right, now let me explain that with SMC. So you see, after this area, the only area that we have that we can actually use is this PUI right here. In fact, let me check it from my indicator and be very, very sure before I point it out. So, okay, so one is somewhere here and the other is somewhere here, right? Those are the areas, okay? But much confluences is around somewhere here downwards. Much confluences are there, okay? Much confluences are around here. Let's go to the 50 minutes. So we have a lot of confluences around these levels, this area. Where's my drawing to? So we have a lot of confluences around this area, and that is a perfect order block as well. So a lot of confluences falls on this area. So like I said, price is likely to come there, and that is the order block I was talking about. Okay, this is the order block I'm actually talking. In fact, let me position on the 15 minutes too as well, so that I would take the image for that. So let me position again here. All right. So yeah. Basically, that's it. So we position also around this level. Let me come forward a little bit. They're so nice. And what do we expect? We expect that price would come all the way to the downside, right? Perfect. Um, Let me squeeze the chart and find candle 1 and candle 2. I can't see it. I can't. I can't see it unless I mark it. So what I'm going to do is, so candle 1, candle 2. Yeah. Okay. So what it means is that now price needs to travel into these levels or into these areas. And we have seen that um, in the structure right here. Okay, in the structure right here. So this is where price is supposed to get into before it makes any move. Okay, so we are positioned down here. We are positioned down here, even though we'll be watching the other levels, especially the GPUI. So we would have a GPUI. Let me confirm that we have a GPUI on the 5 minutes. So we have a GPUI on the 5 minutes. Yes, we have a GPUI on the 5 minutes. In fact, let me do that also on the 5 minutes. So we can either be positioning around the GPUI or position around the XPUI. Okay, perfect. And that's right in here. So I'm actually checking from my left side. You can see that screen and it's fine. Bingo. So this is a GPUI right there. This is a GPUI right there. But like I said, GPUI. Like I said, I'm not interested in the GPUI. I'm not. Okay, I'm not interested in the GPUI. I'm actually interested in the EPUI right here. So even when we get here, I'm going to enter the trade, but it's going to be on low risk. These are some of the differences that you guys make. Because I said, okay, I'm not going to position myself here. Then you are also not positioning. No, it means that I'm not going to position heavy around that area. Right? Yeah. So guys, let's understand that. Let's understand that. Okay. So let's wait for the inducement to be taken and then we go in hard. Okay? Yeah. If today is your first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell notification so anytime I come live, you will be notified immediately. It's a free thing to do to share the links, and we really appreciate you sharing the links with family and friends. At this point, I would like to draw the meeting to a close. My name is Dr. Mola, and I say bye for now, guys.